Warning, the following review contains spoilers of Tekken 7 story mode with both cutscene spoilers and in-game spoiler moments. So if you haven't beaten the story mode, this is a warning in advance before you continue on watching. You can turn back now before it starts. Now if you have beaten it, almost done with it, or just don't care for Tekken story mode, this review is for you. So get your rage arts, rage drives, slow modes, and whatever else you may need ready, because this review is a big one. Let's get started and hit the music for me one time. That's right folks, the King of the Iron Fist makes his return once again with his latest to mainline series with Tekken 7. Tekken 7 picks up on Jin being missing after his fight with the demon in Tekken 6. Heihachi takes over the Mishima Saga for control and continues to go blow for blow with Kazuya for both public image and to show who's more dominant while settling an old rivalry since the first. And Akuma makes a guest appearance in the story to owe a favor to a family friend of both Heihachi and Kazuya to kill them both. Tekken 7 holds no punches this time around. What's new to Tekken 7 is the brand new Treasure Mode. Treasure Mode consists of randomized versions of characters that's already on the roster that's customized that you can fight to earn both treasure, such as more clothing, random banners, and customizing options for your player card, and also you can level up your character throughout Treasure Battle and do crazy match setting, sometimes as double damage. Turbo Mode even has special matches where you fight certain boss versions of characters such as Kazumi and Akuma to unlock higher ranking treasures that can be anything to unlock. And what makes a return in Tekken 7 is the online play that consists of ranked and player matches, lobby mode for those who want to play consistently with friends, and a brand new addition to the online system with tournament mode. What's also making another return in Tekken 7 is the customization options for your characters. You can dress them up silly, cool, stylish, fun, or just anything you want them to be or look like. Taking a page with Tag 2 with the customization options, Tekken 7 gives you a full range to operate with and lets you get your freedom and options to play around with your choices. Now see, as I was playing Tekken 7, I honestly was impressed with the game. Tekken 7 holds its ground as a fighting game, especially compared to the other fighters around it. You had Injustice 2, Street Fighter 5, Guilty Gear, Blast Blue, many other fighting games that would have other redeeming qualities around it, and Tekken 7 still held its ground long enough to be an impressive game following up. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the pros. My first pro for Tekken 7 is that the story for both Kazuya and Heihachi is good, as they finish a rivalry that's been going on consistently for years, and even use older footage from the PS1 and PS2 games to make reference on for how long it consistently went. And not only do they give you a big story for Kazuya and Heihachi, but they also give the character side stories alongside the main story. They give the character stories to what they couldn't fit into the main saga storyline, so they look out for who didn't make it to the mainline story. It's definitely a pro for me. My next pro is that Tekken 7 is filled with content. You have the Mishima Saga, character stories, arcade mode, treasure battle, rank play, versus mode, character and player customization, and an art and cutscene gallery to look at. Tekken 7 gives so much content to the players at hand to enjoy and spend time unlocking things with characters, checking out lore, playing and fighting online, and even something that the single player people can enjoy, something that everyone can be satisfied by this game by giving you something to do and work on. It's a pro for me. My next pro for Tekken 7 is that the soundtrack for this game is amazing. The soundtrack is filled with these amazing techno, rock, drum and bass and EDM songs that just sound so great in your speakers or a headset that's catchy enough to listen to the song heavily. The menu music is great, the character selection music is fantastic, the stages have some amazing music as well. The music in Tekken 7 is one of the best things about the game, as it fits the high octane adrenaline mood that the game is settling in for. Tekken 7 nails it with the music and is a pro for me. My last and final pro for Tekken 7 is that it's a nice touch that they give the international characters their native tongue from their homeland. Claudio speaks Italian, Leo speaks Dutch, Eddie speaks Brazilian, Miguel speaks Spanish, Kazuya, Heihachi, and the others speak Japanese, and they all stick to their native script. It's a completely nice touch to add in for those characters, one of those smaller additions that tends to get overlooked, but it's done so well in Tekken 7 that I couldn't help but give it the proper respect considering they've done this for years. It's a pro for me. Now see, as I was playing through Tekken 7, I couldn't help but notice that Tekken 7 does have some glaring issues and problems that needs to be addressed. Tekken 7 has a lot of issues that its counterparts does not have, especially the fighter that released before Tekken 7, which was Injustice 2. Tekken 7 has some issues that still needs to be addressed, so it needs to be taken care of, that its counterparts took care of their problems early. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the cons. My first comment is that the graphics for Tekken 7 look extremely dated, washed, and downright bad. The graphics for this game are an eyesore to look at. Looks like it's still on 360 almost, barring a few updated elements in the background and some small features going on for the characters. Tekken 7 looks like it didn't make much transition in updating the game properly besides some updates to the character models, and honestly that's it. The graphics on Tekken 7 specifically for Xbox One looks bad, very dated, and not next generation at all. It's a con from me. My next con is that while Tekken 7 story mode is good, it does have some inconsistencies that have you asking more questions than you're receiving. Who is the narrator? Why did Claudia only get summoned mid-storyline and get dropped? Why is Kazumi there only for just one fight in the story? When did Akuma and Kazumi know each other to make that wish happen? Why does Heihachi specifically tell the narrator his secrets if he knows he's working for the enemy? The story is very weird and writing and very inconsistent to have you asking more questions than you get. It's a con from me. My next con for Tekken 7 is that it lacks a proper tutorial for its newer players. It doesn't go into any detail about the brand new elements of the game, which are the rage arts and rage drives. It doesn't tell you what to do, how to activate them, when to activate any of that. You get a training mode that you have to learn yourself. It shouldn't be like this, especially with games such as Street Fighter V, Blast Blue, Guilty Gear, Injustice, Mortal Kombat X, and even somewhat Killer Instinct giving you a proper tutorial system and breakdown characters and elements of the game. It's a con from me. My next and last con for Tekken 7 is that these servers are bad for ranked and player matches. Either you can't find a match sometimes, the match gets lagging that you disconnect from each other mid-match. This also isn't even the ranked match queue either. This happens in the lobbies as well. You're spectating and then it freezes mid-match as either behind them that they've disconnected while fighting. This happens constantly in the lobby sometimes, even with the full green and blue bar. The servers on Tekken 7 are bad and still need some kind of work towards them. It's definitely a con for me. But all in all, Tekken 7 is a solid fighter amongst the other fighting games that's out here currently. It has a wonderful story mode that's as good as the summer action flick currently. It's packed with content that'll keep players happy while both online and offline. It has an amazing soundtrack that'll definitely get you hyped up. And as always, the addition of the native tongue for characters is dope. But Tekken 7 does have some glaring issues from bad graphics, inconsistent writing in the story, lack of a proper tutorial and training mode, and some horrible servers that need a patch. But with that being said, I'll be giving Tekken 7 a 3.5 out of 5. Alright guys, that concludes my Tekken 7 review. Thank you guys for watching so much. Go check out my previous reviews on Shyness, the Lightning Kingdom, and Friday the 13th. Go check those reviews out. I have many more reviews coming from Surge, Dead by Daylight, Prey, Little Nightmares, Outlast 2, NBA Playgrounds, and many more reviews to come. I'm also going to be playing catch up on certain reviews that I may have missed out on, such as Horizon, Nier Automata, and certain reviews I may have missed out on last year and earlier this year. So be on the lookout for that. Go check out any of my Let's Plays from Outlast 2, Heavy Rain, Until Dawn, and many more to come. I will be starting up Alien Isolation later on this week, and we will be catching up on that. So until next time, until the next video guys, so tune in, turn up, and don't down. Hit that like and subscribe button for me please, and I'm out.